the president in his State of the Union address calling income inequality the defining moment of our time. Is he right?
He's absolutely right. There's been a massive increase in income and wealth inequality both in the United States and other advanced economies. We're back now to what was income inequality in 1929 at the onset of the Great Depression and the first Gilded Age. We're in the second Gilded Age. The share of labor income now is only 58%. The lowest we had in 40 years was 64%. And now we know that carried interest is being taxed at 15%, and Romney pays less than 15% on taxes, while most people who have even reasonable income pay 30, 35. That's going to be an issue politically.
Does the social unrest in the United States specifically, and then globally, does it grow from here?
Certainly there is a lot of unrest. It's partly the Occupy Wall Street movement, but also part of the Tea Party has that populist element against the elites in Washington, in New York, and so on. So I think this issue about wages not growing enough, high unemployment rate, income and wealth inequality, unfairness of the taxation system is going to be an important political issue this year.
But when it comes to economic recovery in the United States and particularly in Europe, does it matter? Should politicians pay potentially more attention to that unrest than they are at this point?
Well,
does it matter?
It matters, first of all, because you have social and political unrest. Secondly, if you have a redistribution of income from labor to capital, from workers to corporations, from lower income to higher income individuals, that reduces aggregate demand because the marginal propensity to consume and spend of somebody who is poor or a worker is greater than the marginal propensity to spend of somebody who is rich or a corporate that tend to save more. So that redistribution of income, that rise in inequality, leaving aside an issue of fairness, even from an efficiency point of view, reduces aggregate demand when there is not enough demand, so it reduces consumption.
Explain to us what you mean when you said previously this year that the United States faces a perfect storm when it comes to the economy in 2013. So looking ahead, what can be done to avoid that?
Well, in the U.S., we're kicking the can down the road. We're not doing anything of the fiscal adjustment, but eventually in 2013 that fiscal adjustment will have to start to occur and there'll be a fiscal drag. And we've postponed the deleveraging of the households that are now spending more and saving less by giving them another $1 trillion last year of tax cuts and transfer payments that have been paid with another $1 trillion of public debt. So we're pushing the problem to the future, but by 2013, the deleveraging of the households that have too much debt, not enough income, will start again. And even the government will have to start cutting back on spending and raising taxes. So that's going to imply that we're growing a little bit more today at the expense of having much weaker growth in the future. And next year, in addition to the U.S. problem, we'll have disorderly situation in the Eurozone, and we might even get a hard landing in China. That's the perfect storm at the global level in which all the major economies, by kicking the can down the road this year, may have a bigger problem down the line.
Given what you're saying to me, oil prices are going to go higher, housing values in the United States are going to continue to fall, jobs are going to remain to be a key issue. We should pay more attention than ever, would you say, Nouriel, to the social unrest we're seeing in this country?
Yes, we'll see more social unrest in the United States, but not only in the United States. In the U.S., we have Occupy Wall Street. In the Middle East, we have the Arab Spring. In Europe, we have demonstrations, strikes, and weak governments. In Israel, the middle class says, I cannot afford buying a home. In Chile, the students say, I cannot afford my education. In India, you have an anti-corruption drive. Even in China, there is resentment that is expressed on their microblogs against corruption, against inequality, against job opportunity, and so on. So throughout the world, this social and political instability coming from economic and financial and fiscal insecurity, rising income and wealth inequality, worries about the future, and so on, are going to be sources of tension, politically and socially, not just in the U.S.